To celebrate Nick's 25th year of life, I figured I would interview the people that love him most to see what they had to say. How did you feel when you found out that Nick was coming into the world?
Oh man, I felt great. Yeah, I said, I hope it's a boy.
I was so excited to find out I was having a little boy, someone to dress up in a baseball uniform.
Oh, I was so excited to be a big sister and could not wait to meet my little brother and have a friend that I could just play with just every day of my life.
It seemed like a long pregnancy. We went to the hospital. It was in the middle of the night, and it was just a couple hours after we were there that he was born.
I still remember the day, August 6, 1992, 25 years ago tomorrow. I brought this bundle of joy into the world. I just finished my last day with the Fifth Third Bank, looking to get his room ready, and before I could even get one night's sleep, Nicholas Castile Bear arrived into the world.
I said, wow, this is really a good-looking baby.
He was beautiful. His mommy got to hold him first, but I got to hold him second.
I remember when he was first born, I was ready to teach him how to walk. As like an infant. Tell me about a memory that you share with Nick.
Well, it's been a long time ago, but years ago we used to go, Kelsey and Nick and I would go to UDF a lot. And we went into UDF and Kelsey ordered whatever she normally ordered, maybe a malt or something. And Nick wanted a chocolate chunk sundae, but he didn't want ice cream. So basically we ordered a chocolate sundae with just chocolate syrup. And that's typical Nick.
One of my favorite memories with Nick, there was a time when we were both playing basketball a lot together here at Shaker Point, and he would come over afterwards and kind of hang out, and if Kelsey was working, then we would just kind of make tacos and hang out together, and we got to have a lot of really good life talks.
My favorite memory with Nick is probably when we went to Dick's after my lacrosse game for my birthday.
My favorite memories, Nick, is when right before your wedding, we were still in like the building and the music was on, everybody was like ready to walk down, and I was super nervous and I was shaking, and I like didn't want to walk in front of everybody, and so like I had to hold on to Nick's arm like this, and I had heels on and it was grass, and I was like, you can't let me fall, Nick, like don't let me fall. He's like, I'll never let you fall, you know that, and then we walked out. That's my favorite memory. So.
I'll never forget the time that Nick turned my bad mood into laughter. I told him, I hate being in a bad mood. And Nick responded with, I hate cats that say meow, I hate dogs that say bark, and I especially hate cows that say moo. And instantly, just like that, I was laughing, despite the mocking.
Oh, I just remember him being little, telling me he loved vegetables. And I say, you do? I'd give him a little bowl of ranch dressing, and he'd say, I only want one carrot. And he would dip and dip and dip and eat all of the ranch dressing, and he'd be still eating the one carrot. So I think he liked the ranch better than he did the vegetables.
A memory I share with Nick. He was about 9 years old, getting off the bus at Hidden Valley. He was so upset he couldn't even hardly understand what he was saying. He was crying so hard. Apparently the class was taking donations for a boy in his class to buy him a sleeping bag to keep warm. And Nick wanted to donate $50. But he was more worried about cutting out 50 hands and taking up the whole class in Miss Recess. I had to write a note and ask the teacher to help him with this, so she had the whole class cut all these hands out, and he donated his $50.
But this game was really a tight game, and there was no time left, and it was tie score, but you was able to run one more play. And I'll be darned if they didn't hand the ball off to Nick, and he busted through that line like nothing, you know. And all of a sudden he was standing across the goal line. I was so proud of him, and I wanted to tell him how proud I was, so I started walking down toward the field, but I couldn't get to him because all the girls was swamped all over him, you know. But he finally got up there, and I gave him a big hug, and I said, Nick, no, I'm really proud of you. That was a winning game, winning point.
How would you describe Nick?
6 foot tall, 185 pounds, and a real classy dresser.
Nick is smart.
Strong.
Consistent.
He is an athlete.
Joyous.
Nick makes friends with new people daily. And
Passionate person.
Very passionate about what he does.
he always is just happy being part of the action.
Goofy and weird.
Smiley.
He was very easygoing.
Fun.
Fun. And Nick has a way of bringing out the best in all the people around him when he's around.
Nick always makes the best out of every situation.
I don't know. Just like me. It's such a good thing.
And he really treats other with dignity and respect, and that's what I really appreciate about him, because I think he treats people well because he knows that's the right thing to do, and I'm very proud of him for that.
Tender-hearted.
Nick's tender-hearted.
Nick is compassionate.
I would describe Nick as a caring.
Genuine.
Loving.
Best brother.
Nick was a gift from God.
Nick has grown to be a great man. I'm very proud of him.
And I know he's a king's kid.
And he's a keeper.
What is something that Nick always says?
Hey, Papa.
Nick's favorite line when he was little, when people were arguing or he wasn't happy with the situation at hand, he'd look at you and he'd take his little hands and take your face and go, "Be nice."
Mom, Kelsey's being mean.
Oh man, when he's talking to Dad.
Oh, I remember one day he was here and he was kind of having a stressful day. And he says, "Nanny, everything's going to be okay because I always let go of the bad and I just hang on to the good." And I said, it really impressed me that little 8-year-old could give me something to hang on to.
What is something that reminds you of Nick?
And it always reminds me when somebody hits a home run and jumps on the home plate, because he did that one time, and I thought that was a neatest thing.
Something that reminds me of Nick is an action figure.
Cherry cordial ice cream.
Whenever I see a box of Cocoa Pops cereal, it reminds me of Nick, because Nick loved Cocoa Pops cereal. And we'd always have eating races when he was little. And Nick would have a little tiny bowl of them, and I have a big bowl. So to make sure Nick ate every one of them, we would eat as fast as we could. And I'd always have 2 bowls by the time you have one, but I'd always save a little at the end so it made Nick feel good about winning the race.
How does Nick make you feel when he's around?
Great, fantastic. When he comes, he first sees you, he gives you a big hug. And when he leaves, he gives you a big hug.
First thing he does, he gives me a hug, which calms me down. It doesn't matter what the situation is or who's even around. He knows that will calm Mom down.
When Nick is around, I feel safe, and there's almost like a calmness that comes over me. Anywhere with him can feel like home and like we're in our own little world. We've never had to be anything but ourselves around each other, and have always just clicked and been comfortable. He can make me feel like I'm the only person in the room when he talks to me or looks at me, and I think that's something special that every girl kind of wants.
Nick makes me feel at home and not alone.
I would say safe. And he's loving, and he always had something good to say about everything. He's just very uplifting, and I love his stories.
He makes me feel proud, loved, and just happy and blessed.
In what ways is your life better because Nick's in it?
A lot, because he's my big brother, and I just always have somebody to go to.
Well, I was just sharing that how blessed I've been to have Nick and Kelsey, and to have them living under my roof, and to be able to pray over them from the time they got up in the morning and when they went to bed at night, to sing over them, and to pour Jesus' love and love into their lives. It, to me, was a privilege and an honor to be Nicholas's nanny and Kelsey's nanny.
Nick makes my life better because he taught me understanding. There was a time in our life where I couldn't understand Nick because he was losing his teeth and he had a speech impediment. I learned to be patient because good things come to those who wait. He also learned this, and he's a great communicator.
because of Nick, I have a childhood full of wonderful memories.
Because he makes me so proud every time I see him, and it makes me feel good about myself that I got such a good-looking, nice, positive grandson.
My life is better because of Nick, because he's everything I'm not, yet still accepts me for everything I am. When I'm the one freaking out, he's always the calm, rational one that can talk me down from anything. He's shown me true love through his patience, loyalty, and forgiveness. He can make me laugh when I'm crying or even when I want to kill him, and he doesn't let a day go by without reminding me how much he loves me and supports me. He adds joy to every little aspect of life and makes me so excited for the future together.
Both Nick and Kelsey changed my life in a major way, and I am a better person because both of them being part of my life. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that without those two, I wouldn't be the guy that I am. So I appreciate that from both of them.
Well, Nick, I just want to tell you that since the day I met you, you were part of my family. I love you more than I think you'll ever know, and I've always felt like you were a son to me. Love.
If you could say one thing to Nick, what would it be?
That I love him. I love you, Nick.
Always focus your life on your family. Always stay positive and leave a lasting impression.
Just always be yourself. Don't let anybody change you. You're a good person now, and you're only going to get better. Just make sure that you do the right thing every day, and that you believe in yourself and don't let anybody put you down, because you're going to achieve great things in your life if you do that.
Enjoy. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy your loved ones.
If I could say one thing to you, Nick, I would just say thank you for being Kelsey's brother. She talks about you a lot, and I know you've been there through the ups and the downs with her in a way that no one else has. And so I just want to say thank you for being there when I couldn't be.
If I could say anything to Nick right now is be that next time we play ping pong, I'm going to kick his ass.
Get a life. If you could go back in time and give advice to yourself, what would you say?
My advice is it's okay to be different. I always gave advice to get along. But trust in God and stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your beliefs. Never drink your profits or even drink with your fake profits.
I have a question for you, Nick. When are you going to take me out on the golf course? Happy birthday.
Happy 25th birthday, baby boy.